You know, this is how these things go sometimes. I'm just aiming for that one tree, and while wanting to zoom in, this other shot appeared in my frame, which looked fantastic. So welcome back to the channel, and this week's video continues where last week's video ended. This day was so epic that it delivered so many great images that after editing the whole video it became more than 35 minutes. So I decided to give it a split. If you haven't watched last week's video, then push the link up here in the corner, because that will take you to the first part. It is definitely worth watching, but let's dive into this week's video. So I found another shot that I quite like, and let me try to show you this one, because this is probably going to end up as a 1x1, and I'll show you why that is. You can see it's about this tree over here, and it looks quite hazy right now, but that's all due to the exposure. So if I make it a little bit darker, you can see it appears much bigger in the frame. But what I want is a 1x1, so I don't want this tree in my frame. I just want this section over here with that little bit of haze on the water and a beautiful light from the sun directly above it, hitting my tree from the back. And I think that's a shot that I don't have in my portfolio at the moment. And there's some beautiful lit up fog around the top of the tree right now because the sun is getting through. And quickly going to take it. It's probably still set to a 1x1. Yes, it is. And purely by accident, I'm now finding another 1x1 shot, which is absolutely fantastic. You know, this is how these things go sometimes. I'm just aiming for that one tree, and while wanting to zoom in, this other shot appeared in my frame, which looked fantastic. So it includes a lot of these pink heathers here in my foreground, right here. Man, you know, this is how it goes sometimes. So hopefully this works out. I'm gonna do it again and see if I can make this even better. But I think that was quite nice, the way it was. Leaving the sky out, just aiming for that beautiful light and atmosphere. F8. This is it. I'll show you both shots. Let me know which one you prefer. So one of the best things about walking around here is the smell, and it makes me sad that I can't transfer this through YouTube, but the smell of this flowering heather, the early morning dew. You know, if they can make a perfume that smells like this, I would buy it. Definitely one of my most favorite smells in the whole world. Fantastic. So I found a pretty nice composition, one that I've seen before, but I never managed to take a decent composition with it. And let me show you the composition now. It might be a little too late on the day to take this shot, but I'm gonna make a massive bracket here to hopefully get the sky right in this frame. So this is the scene that I'm looking at. You can see we've got this path running to the back, and it goes all the way down there towards those bushes. So I'm including a little bit of this section on the left with that beautiful atmosphere of that forest. Then this, but I'm excluding the sky. So my frame will be something like this. This in the foreground here, this grass is going to be my main focal point. So that makes, I'm going to brighten up the screen a little bit. This is the composition then. And I think that looks quite exciting. Maybe this was better when the sun was just starting to rise, but then there was so much fog down here that you couldn't see that path. So you need some specific conditions, and I took it before in, I think, autumn or winter, when there wasn't this purple heather. But right now, with all these water drops on this beautiful purple heather, it might just work. It might just work. So let's see, I'm going to take a bracket, one shot where I'm overexposing a little bit, and then going down to an almost pitch black shot, so that that sky up there won't be overexposed, and hopefully show some proper colors. And that would be absolutely nice. So yeah, this is it. The bracket of the S-curve path. Nice. So it's a bit of a strange morning until now. I just don't know if I made the best of it, like I told you earlier. But the conditions are changing quite rapidly and quite unpredictably. You know, just look right here. All the fog is cleared in this low section. And if you look on the clouds over there, or on the clouds, on the forest in the back, there's still a massive layer of fog just a little bit higher above the ground. So I'm in the lowest part of this reserve at the moment, and I've decided to walk all the way to the back there, see if I can get a little bit more altitude to hopefully make a little bit more use of that little bit of fog. But there's also clouds rolling in at the moment that are hiding the sun. So I don't know if the best of this morning is behind us. I'm definitely sure that the best is behind us. You know, those conditions at the start, they were amazing. Even if I didn't make the best of it, maybe I did. You know, it's difficult. You know, sometimes I put too much pressure on myself. And then I get back home and I'm like, oh, this wasn't too bad. But I'm gonna walk to the back, see if I can continue this trip for a little bit longer and hopefully find some more interesting shots. So I just found a couple of interesting tree trunks laying around here in the header, and I'm not quite sure what to do with it. So you see we have one lock over here, and I'm actually looking at a shot where I'm only using the trunk in this header just as a square image, something more like abstract. And then on this side you have another real nice tree trunk pointing towards these trees up there, which can make a pretty interesting composition. Yeah, I'm not quite sure what to do here. So I'm going for a portrait shot with this trunk here in the foreground, or maybe a square, but with everything that I've just tried, handheld, just going around. This is usually how I search for compositions, you know, just moving the camera around, or sometimes I do it with my phone if I still have the camera in my bag, and I just scan for compositions like, okay, what works if I go lower, if I go higher. But the feeling that I have right now is that whatever I try, there's just this massive spot on the left, which is a bit boring. And especially with that gray sky, not sure if it's gonna work. So I think the most interesting shot is this one, but I still haven't figured it out completely. So I'm probably gonna start over here and then include those two very small vibrant green bushes over here in a square composition. And I think that would work. That would work nicely, and it only works due to the frame that I can create with the pink header. So let's hope it works, and I probably think the best of the day is gone. So this might be the last image, so let's see. So I found another pretty interesting composition here, and I kind of like this one because it's like a giant puzzle where I'm trying to position all kinds of trees in the frame with one very dominant tree, and then all the other trees to fit exactly that they don't intersect with each other. Of course, there are some trees that are intersecting, but I'm just trying to make the best of it. And I have to take a bracket because the sun is really bright, but I did position the sun exactly behind this first tree. And the other tree on the left, that is the one that I'm positioning underneath my main focal tree. And then there is a bit of space on the right side of my frame. And it actually looks quite nice. I'm not 100% sure if this is even going to be interesting, just because the sky isn't that fantastic. There are a lot of clouds here, but at least it's a nice practice in composition. And I wanted to include this pink header in the foreground. So you got pink header, this jigsaw of trees, and then this sky that hopefully is savable by making a bracket. You know, there is detail in the sky. There are some nice yellowish bright colors in the sky. So there is definitely potential. So I took a 5-shot high-res bracket, and let's see if that worked out. So I think that last shot is going to be the end of this video. Like I said earlier, I'm not quite sure what to think about this morning. Was it worth it? Did I take something spectacular? I'm not sure. I'm definitely not sure, and I don't know where this feeling comes from. Maybe, like I said, I put the standard too high for myself, but a year ago I would have gone mad with these images, and right now I'm thinking, I don't know, but maybe that's the progress you go through as a photographer, that you put your standard higher and higher and higher. And if you come to an area where you photographed so many great images, it's hard to find something new, something fresh, something unique, something that sets that spark, like this is the shot that I was going for. Maybe that S-curved path that I shot earlier in that bracket, I think that that is the image that stands out today, how I feel it right now. But maybe I'm wrong, you know, who knows? Let me know in the comments, what's your favorite image? What do you think? Do you have the same thing that over time progress makes you demand more of your images? And I think that's the phase I'm in right now. I'm demanding more of myself. I'm wanting to explore different territories, different things. And you've probably seen it with some more wildlife images coming in. But I'm just trying to become more of an all-round nature photographer, trying to photograph everything I like. So maybe next time I'll just dive into this beautiful header with my macro lens. Who knows what will come from that. So yeah, at least I hope you enjoyed this trip, that there were some helpful tips and tricks in here for shooting panos and brackets and all that stuff. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments or send me a message through my website. I'll be happy to help if I can, and yeah, I hope to see you on the next one. Don't forget, please push that thumbs up button, and there is a subscribe button underneath here or here, I don't know, somewhere underneath the video. If you push that and push the little notification bell, you will get a message when I release my next video, which is always on Thursdays and on Sundays. So I hope to see you then, and yeah, thanks for watching. Bye bye.